Okay, well, this ought to be interesting. Okay. Well, we got somebody there. I don't know how the hell this works, so we'll see. Oh, it's definitely Miller time. Cheers to whoever you are. Oh, it's Real Outdoor Living. What's going on, brother? How's the family? Sherry, hello. How are you doing? I'm here at the crappy motel. Just a few more nights, though, thank God. Real Outdoor Living is not much is going on. They're just got done eating. Sherry, I don't know if you've watched their channel. I brought them up a couple of times. They are awesome. They've got a bus. I am in a lot better spirits lately. Finally at the point where I can actually see myself being into the house. Hi, Mom Trips. How you doing? Yeah, I'm in a lot better mood, and it helped a lot. My buddy Dave came out. I call him my brother from another mother, and he came out. He was here for about 5 days, helped me clear out a lot of the nasty furniture out of the house, and we got all that stuff down to the field and piled it in the burn piles. Some stuff will be recycled, some stuff's going to get burnt, some stuff will go to the dump. But he came out and we had a good time. We worked on the house a little bit, but not a whole lot. Saw a couple of movies while he was here. So the farm, I don't know how many of the videos different people have watched, but the game plan is I'm actually going to be setting it up for a campground at some point. Soon you'll be there, looking really good there. Hey, thanks, man. I'm trying. I'm definitely a lot more positive now that I can go over there and actually see myself staying in the house. It was a definite huge setback going over to the motel when we lost power out at the farm. So I lost a little over 2 weeks there. And I've been almost 30 days at the motel, which is driving me absolutely crazy. I hate it because I'm over in Clinton, Iowa at the motel, and I drive all the way back over to Illinois. My farm is just outside of Fulton, Illinois. So it's not a really long drive, but up until the point where I got the floors cleared off enough where Louis could come over with me, Louis was staying here at the motel. So of course I felt terrible about that. And I was driving back and forth to let him out. And when the power was down at the farm, I was driving back and forth with gallon jugs of water for the chickens, trying to keep the chickens watered. And of course, that didn't work out. Don't know what kind of animal got into the chicken coop, but since I wasn't out there to supervise, lost all 12 chickens. Although there might be one straggler left. The girl that has a farming plot that I leased to her on the property, she brought up a cantaloupe yesterday. Think you smoke too many cigarettes? No, I haven't had enough cigarettes. I'm on the vape tonight. So, no smoking in the motel room, unfortunately. But yes, I'm a chain smoker. I quit up until 9 months ago. Or I quit for 9 months and started back up about 6 months ago. Bad breakup with the ex. So, Love your shirt. Can't wait to see what you do in the bathroom. Oh, God. Uh, I don't know what to do with the bathroom. The bathroom is on pause. Hi, League X. But anyway, no, my mood's better. We're going to be moving over there on Wednesday. I have the motel room until Wednesday. I prepaid for a month here. It's been kind of crazy though. The last couple of times I've been out at the farm, I actually kind of dreaded having to come back to the motel. I would have rather just stayed at the farm so I could have kept getting stuff done. The driving back and forth is just, it sucks. I drive all the way back here, let Louie out, and then by the time I'm back here, you know, it's 3 or 4 o'clock, 3 in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the evening. I don't want to drive all the way back over to Illinois to go start on another little small project. Hi, Lisa. Install outdoor shower in the intern. Okay, here's the thing with that. I've got to watch how much I spend and what I put my effort into. The tub is actually functional. It sucks. It sucks getting in and out of it. It's funky. I get that. But if I want to take a shower, I can always hop in the car and cruise over. It's like 8-minute drive to Planet Fitness if I want to take a shower instead of getting in the tub. So that's kind of my reason behind it. There will be outdoor showers put in probably next season. Because I want to have camping, like I've said, out on the property. Probably going to have minimal camping spots. To start with, it'll probably be dry camping, but I've got a lot of clearing to do, and that's really not possible to start until spring. In the spring, I'll be able to see a lot better where the piles of junk are, because as I take the tractor through the fields when I'm cruising, I'm having to stop like every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because there are piles of pallets different places, piles of stone, cinder block, garbage piles, old campsites. So it's not like you can just cruise through and mow down all the grass. There's also been a lot of farming done out there, so there's a lot of chicken wire all over the place. If you've seen one of my previous videos, I actually blew up my first mower deck. Because chicken wire that I couldn't see drove right over it with the tractor, and it got all wound up in the prop and totally broke off the PTO off the tractor mower. And so I can't keep doing that. I mean, that was a huge mistake, and we ended up resurrecting the old lawnmower off of the old crappy tractor that was sitting out there. So I do have a functional mower currently, but I have to go at it just little tiny strips at a time when I'm out in the fields mowing. And then I've got to try to balance that against working on the house as well and taking care of the different trees and stuff, because like when your apples fall off the trees, if they sit down there and rot, it's going to get into fruit flies, and they mess up your trees and the good apples that are on the trees. So let me read some of these comments. I think you need someone moderating the chat for you. I guess so. I wasn't really expecting very many people. So, I mean, it's cool. Thank you all for showing up. That's awesome. You will become my plump human flesh light toy. And I was, oh, that's interesting. Okay, yeah. I hadn't read that one yet. I guess that's why I need a moderator. Okay. You look like a billionaire. No, I'm definitely not a billionaire. I have very little income every month. I did a contract on the property. Make payments just like everybody else does every month. I try to put whatever I can into it every month. Hello from Oklahoma. Hi, Travis. How are you doing? But yeah, as I was saying, it's kind of a juggling act constantly with the property and the house. The biggest thing when I first got out there was just trying to get pathways cut so that you could actually walk through the property. And a lot of the areas, the weeds are like 10 feet, 12 feet up. So, I mean, you don't want to cruise through with the tractor on that. Crash into something, you're done for. There goes my most valuable piece of equipment. So that's kind of the reason why the property is kind of on hold till spring. I'm hoping the snow knocks everything down. I'm going to be able to get out there and like flag the really bad areas, because there's even been a lot of spots where different trees people have cut down and they've just piled up the logs, random locations throughout the property. So it's really difficult to mow out there. It's not like I'm on a rider and I've got real close eyes on where I'm driving to. When you're way up in the tractor like that and you're just cruising through tall weeds, I mean, it's straight up to the windows when I'm driving through, and it's a nightmare. It really is. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot easier in the springtime once I get to that. But for now, I'm trying to focus on the house. And also, the next big order of business is going to be starting to get firewood ready for winter. Now, there's no heat whatsoever in the house. Nothing. There's a fireplace in the living room. Then there's that built-in rocket stove. Well, it's a rocket heater. It has a tube that runs all the way through the bench. And you put in just a little tiny amount of wood, and it creates a whole bunch of heat. That all has to be cleaned out. I'm sure the chimneys haven't been cleaned for years. Then there's another large wood burner in the kitchen dining room area, which I'll try to get a closer up video for that. But that one, again, there's no ventilation to the various rooms, so the heat that you get is the heat that you get. And then in one of the 3 bedrooms in the back, there's a small wood burner stove back there as well. So my game plan is to try to get as much wood stockpiled as I can for the upcoming winter, but also at the same time, I'm probably going to get maybe 1 or 2 baseboard heaters and put them in that corner that I've been working on, where maybe you've seen the 2 windows if you've seen some of the videos. And I'm going to have probably 2 baseboard heaters over there just in case, so that I can keep the temperature up as needed throughout the winter. Tehran, Canada. Joe Pantalone. Chattanooga. God bless you and keep you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm going to need it because this is pretty crazy. I'm hoping that I'm modeling the house all winter, and hopefully I can do these chats more often. And I'm trying to do a video every day, but a lot of times by the time I get done for the day, I'm just done. And I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying, hey, why don't you film yourself working? I mean, I can do that, but I'd be moving the camera constantly, and I don't get into doing all the editing. I just don't see the point in it. I mean, I could, but then I'd be putting an hour or 2 into editing and fast forwarding through me painting and moving from place to place throughout the house. So that's kind of the main reason why when I get done for the day, I just kind of walk through and show, okay, this is what I got done today. But I will look at doing that, especially once I get into the house for the winter, because I'm sure it's going to be a long, long winter. Especially being out there on the farm all by myself with just me and Louie. I'm going to have probably a lot of time on my hands, other than the time I'm working on the remodeling part of things. All right, let's look at some more of these comments. Real Outdoor Living, where are you guys at? Those guys I've been following them. They're doing a great job. Got a great family. If you haven't checked out their channel, please check out their channel, Real Outdoor Living. There's another channel I want to give out a shout to. That is We Took the Long Way Home. He finally just got his land cleared. But I think that you're going to see more and more people start to do this homesteading thing. I lived in the city. I've lived in many cities. I sold my house. And I bought a VW bus, if some of you have seen some of my other videos. And I was going to do the van life thing. And I'm sorry, but the van life thing sucks. At first I was like, yeah, I can boondock for a while. And then what I'll do is I'll get to the point where I'll find a nice campground that I enjoy and probably just stay there. I don't think very many of them exist anymore. Not in the sense that I remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we had a permanent camping spot at a campground up in Wisconsin. And we'd go up there and they had a swimming pool, they had a restaurant, bar, arcade, little snack stand, all that kind of stuff. There was stuff for me to do as a kid. There was stuff for the adults to do as adults. And they had Wave Runner rentals. It was right on a lake. I mean, it was really, really awesome place. And when I took off in the VW bus, I figured, well, I'll run across a place like that, and then I'll just, set down and I'll call it good at that point. Well, every place I went to, it was RV after RV after RV after RV after RV. And with the economy the way it is, so many people are just living in them full time that it's kind of like this weird, almost like trailer court vibe, where everybody's got their all their blinds are shut. Nobody really talks to each other because nobody wants people to borrow stuff from them or ask them for money or ask them to bum a cigarette or anything. There wasn't any kind of a fun camping vibe to it at all. And I kept looking for different campsites, and I found a few. There are some down in Florida. I looked at, I was going to buy some land in Tennessee, which is where I was heading. And I figured, well, if I can't find a campground that's, reasonable, and that's the other thing, the prices are outrageous. That's why you see so many of the boondockers, and they just go from Walmart to Walmart, or they'll go up and they'll go camping out in the woods for a little bit, but you can only stay in certain places for so long, and then you get skedaddled down the road, or the cops come and tell you to move down the road, or your parks people come and tell you got to move on down the road. So there's no way to set up any type of a permanent camp spot or to get settled in at all. And the ones that are permanent are so outrageously expensive. If you're an older person, you're on a fixed income, it's not happening. Not unless you got a hell of a lot of savings and you're going to be dipping into it every month. And so I figured, well, if that's not going to work, then I'm going to have to find a piece of land to buy. And I was a big proponent of, like Bob Wells. I watched him when he first started out doing the van life thing. And I thought, well, maybe I'll end up down in Arizona. And I started doing some research, and then I found how inexpensive land was out in Tennessee. And I was planning on going to Tennessee and buying land. And I had a couple of different pieces that I was on my way to look at. And I ran across this farm that I now have done this purchase agreement on. And I went there to camp. And that was it. I was going to camp there for a little while, do a little bit of maintenance on the VW bus. And I just fell in love with the property. I couldn't get over it. There's mature fruit trees, there's pears, peaches, apple trees. I think there's four, if I remember right, there's 4 or 5 different varieties of apple trees. If you've seen any of the videos, the firewood, I'm good for years of splitting firewood, because the old owner allowed people to drop off logs there and cut down trees there. So I have all of that available to me. The house is a disaster, I can admit that, but I've done housing rehab. I did apartment flips. So, I'm somewhat decent on plumbing and electrical. I can do the drywall, I can do the painting, I can replace windows, I can replace doors, I can do the insulation. And I just figured, why not? I didn't want to end up in Illinois. It is on the Illinois-Idaho border, or Iowa border. I apologize. But some of the other cool aspects are from the property. If you turn out, I'm literally 4 minutes from a recreational water area right on the Mississippi, where you can launch boats, take out your kayaks, any of that type of stuff. It's a really small town, but you go right across the bridge and you're over in Clinton, Iowa, which, it's Clinton, Iowa. It's nothing spectacular, but I'm still only at the most 15 minutes from a Walmart, which when you're living in a big city, you're probably, a lot closer to a Walmart, but probably 30, 45 minutes away from one. And I want to get to the point where I'm totally self-sustaining. I've got some solar panels bought that I'm going to get put on the house, and hopefully we're going to have availability so that people can come out and camp. And I'd like to put in some little tiny shed houses maybe next season. So, is that working yet? You see me working again yet? So excited to see how it all falls into place. Well, thank you. Me too. Hopefully it does. I don't freeze to death this winter, but I don't think so. Doing the tiny house thing for the past 15 months. Definitely it's a different way to live. No idea if I will continue with it. Who knows? That's Carrie Lou. The tiny house thing, now that I've stayed in the VW, and now that I'm going to the living room area of the house, but I know it's not for everybody. I guarantee it's not for everybody. The craziest part is like everything is out of place all the time. As soon as you move anything, you move your notebook over, something else is getting screwed up. And you got to clean up and clean up and clean up and clean up. And it's definitely not for everybody. That's for sure. I do like my space. I had a 3-bedroom house prior to doing this, so I'm used to having the room as well. Once you're settled, it might pay off to do that. Which part? I'm not sure on that one, Lisa, because I'm rambling. Real outdoor living. It's a good looking VW. Looks to be in very good condition. It is. It's actually all original. Unfortunately, I did put it on the market, and I have somebody that's interested in it, but I would rather utilize the money from that to have a work vehicle for the farm, because I really need to get a work truck, and it's not in the budget this year. Next year may be in the budget, but for this year, it's just not feasible. So that's the whole reason why the VW is on the market currently. Are you going to start doing the rehab this winter, or are you going to start this summer? Well, no. The rehab is going to be ongoing. As soon as I'm done here, which is this upcoming Wednesday morning, I'll be out of here and I'll be on the farm full time. And for the first few days, I'll probably be in the VW bus. I'm going to camp out in the VW bus, I would guess, to sleep. I have a mattress set ordered. I'm going to pick up on Friday. And then the bunk beds that are in the back room. Well, there's a set of bunk beds and there's a single bed frame in the back, and they're steel bed frames, so that's still good. I'm going to utilize that. The steel bed in the one back bedroom is going to come to the living room and have a new mattress on it. And Louie and I are going to shack up on that bed and just keep working on the house through the whole winter. So probably the next order of business will be getting the insulation in the ceiling in that living room area to help hold the heat in, of course. And then I've got to get to the plumbing in the bathroom, because I got to be able to bathe and shower. Well, not shower. Well, I can put a shower attachment on it. So I don't want to be driving back and forth to the gym all winter. That would really suck. And work on cleaning up the kitchen and try to get that in a position where I feel comfortable enough cooking in there, because right now the kitchen is totally caca. Like, no. I opened up the drawers and it's like full of mouse crap. So yeah, that all has to be sanitized still. Cabinets need to be sanitized, painted, get contact paper down in those. It's bad. The videos don't do it justice as to how bad it really was when I got in there. But it is slowly but surely getting cleared out. The smell is dissipated, thank God. The gnats and flies, the gnats are gone. Thank God for that. I just kept going in there. Every time I went in, I sprayed everything down. Floor, ceiling, bleach water, mold killer, poured bleach down all the drains, pouring bleach in the toilet, and the gnats are gone. So that's good. And I'm going to probably put up plastic on the door there to the kitchen. And Louie and I are just going to camp out in the living room while we continue with the rehab. Let me see what else we got here going on. What is the big concrete thing next to your fireplace? Okay, that is a rocket stove. What it is, it's a metal tube, and it hooks into that big 55-gallon drum, and that's for airspace. And then there's a little small square at the front of it that's made with fire brick, and you put in just a little tiny bit of wood or sticks into it, and you light that on fire, and then the air takes it through the entire bench around that room and then out the vent, and it heats the bench and the room up. Most of your rocket stoves, if you look them up on YouTube, you know, they're really small. This one's built into the entire bench. But that also, I went through it with the old owner yesterday, and I've got to do a lot of rehab to it. It's still operational, but it needs cleaned out, and there's some areas that need patched, but it's made out of cob, and if you don't know what cob is, it's a mixture of clay and sand and straw. And in one of my other videos, there's also an area on his part of the property. He still has acreage attached to this acreage, and there's an entire cabin that's made from cob. So you can pretty much make cob into anything. More or less it dries almost to like a concrete finish, but it's pliable, like you would be able to make something out of clay. So it's kind of cool. And like in the video in the kitchen where you see the bottles above the kitchen sink, that's all cobbed in around there, and that's clay and straw and sand. Okay. Just chiming in to say this is a fantastic property, a lot of work but worth it. Like the house, all the bones are there. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was getting a lot of comments. Just burn it to the ground and start over. And it's always the young people, because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to demolish the house. What would that cost? How many thousands of dollars? And then build another house? Just build a house. It's no big deal. That would cost more than I spent on the entire property in a house. It's absolutely ridiculous. But no, it's got good bones. And it's actually a cinder block based house. So the walls are cinder block right up to about my shoulders, and then wood above that, but that's about it. Good day, Jacqueline from Australia. Your property has so much potential. Just do it at your own pace. All the best. Looking forward to watching you change it all. Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate it. Greetings from British Columbia. The property is beautiful and loaded with potential. Thank you. John, why does somebody always got to come in with some politics or religion? Somebody's got to do Trump up there. No comment. No comment. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not getting into politics. I'm not going to get into religion, because it has nothing to do with my channel. You do you, John. Love you though, bro. But no, the property has tons of potential, and I'd like to get it where the idea is I'm going to have a whole bunch of sections out so that people in my local community, and I've already talked to a bunch of people at church about this, that if they're interested in like a farming plot because they live in town, food insecurity right now and the economy, as you all know, I'm sure, it sucks. It's a really, really crappy situation for everybody. And, you know, if I can give those people, you know, farming plots, small area where they can grow at least their own vegetables, and then have access to my fruits that I have all over, I'm going to be doing that. And that is going to start first thing this spring, no matter what. I've got the tractor, I've got the tiller attachment. The ground is fertile. All I've got to do is till it up and mark off the sections. So that part will be starting, absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That'll be starting in the spring, where I'll have farming plots available for people in the local community. The camping part is going to take me a little while. And also there's going to be some stuff that I'm going to have to discuss with like the township to make sure that, you know, I'm within code on everything. I'm sure dry camping isn't going to be a big deal, but when I get to the point where I'm down there punching wells and putting in decks, because I would like to have it so if somebody comes out to camp, it's an actual campsite. When I went camping, each campsite up in Wisconsin, you had like your own little nook. You had your own trees. You were kind of private. You know, people put little decks on their property, had a little shed there. I was always, you know, a teenager, so I was like in a tent so I could go run wild at night after my parents fell asleep, run around the campground. But, you know, campgrounds nowadays, it was my experience with it over the course of a few months was horrible. Absolutely horrible. It was just like sardines cramped in. and that's not camping. Not to me, not how I grew up camping. When I went camping, it was a blast. I mean, we didn't want to leave. You just wanted to stay there year round. Howdy, glad I was able to catch you. Hey, Patty. Bean Boy, do you have any plans for George? George, not quite sure what I'm going to do with George. I'm just going to let George be George for now. I'll probably end up giving most of the buds away. I may try smoking a little bit of George. We'll see what happens. I used to smoke a ton. I do just a little bit now. I used to drink a ton. Now I just drink a little bit. Yeah. George is huge though. So yes, I will send your love to George though. He asked my permission. How many acres are you on? It is 14.8 acres, just under 15 acres. And about half of that is, some fruit trees started on half of it, but they're very small. The other side, if you haven't seen the videos, there are a lot of mature fruit trees. And also then there's a row of hazelnut, a lot of hazelnuts, and then lots of raspberries, blackberries, choke cherries. I don't know if you saw the last video. I choked on the choke cherries. You don't try to eat raw choke cherries. They taste like ass. What else do I have out there? There's 3 different types of currants. There was a bright red, light pink, and then there's a totally translucent currant. There's quite a few peach trees, and then lots of wild stuff growing. Like there's this huge pile of squash. Like they must have, I believe the old owner went and picked up a load of compost and dirt and dumped it, and there must have been a few squash in with it. So there was like this mountain of squash, and they're still coming. Like, I had squash out the ass, man. There was squash everywhere, and I was giving them away to people, and we were feeding them to the chickens before all the chickens got toasted. But yeah, 14.8 acres, which when I was heading towards Tennessee, I was looking at a 50-acre parcel, but that would have been just raw land. And you know, if you know anything about the trees and like doing the hazelnuts, the fruit trees, and that's a slow process. So you know, this property to me was like perfect fit, even though the house was really run down. Here we go. Love peaches. I'll bet you do real outdoor living. Come soon, you will try trimming those fruit trees. Soon you will try trimming those fruit trees. I don't know a lot about them. I did hear from one viewer that said the reason why they weren't bearing peaches this year was probably because of an early frost. But again, I'm new to all this. I am learning as I go. I was a city person. Okay, I'm not a farmer. I'm learning everything as I go. From YouTube videos, tutorials, lots of comments from you guys, the viewers, and the old owner of the property is like some kind of savant. This guy can walk and like look at every single solitary leaf and say, oh, this one right here you can make a tea out of, this is called da 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 da, and he knows the scientific name of it. It's mind-boggling how much this guy knows. He's just a wealth of knowledge. And part of the deal that I have with him is once we get the camping started is that he will be out there to teach every other week. And he'll be out there for like 3 hours every other Friday. And he's going to help teach about permaculture and composting and all the different varieties of the fruits and nut trees. And he's just a wealth of knowledge, and I'm really happy to have him as a friend and somebody that's helping me out with this project. New England, originally here. Have you fixed the tractor? The big tractor, yes. The big tractor, the blue one, is Babe. The old owner bought it. He named it Babe, so it's staying Babe the Blue Ox. Yes, Babe is up and running great. I love driving the tractor. The tractor has air conditioning, heat, and stereo. So, yeah, you don't mind mowing with the tractor. That's totally awesome. The orange tractor, no. The orange tractor is dead in the water. And I don't know if I'm even going to try to resurrect it. I've thought about it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things like it's maybe going to be a mailbox or a lawn ornament, or maybe I'll get a hair up my ass and try to get it running again. I mean, it would be kind of cool for like doing hay rides. Or maybe, if I have campers out there and I can use that for like the honey wagon. If you've never camped before, the honey wagon is the dude that pulls the poop suction tank around and cleans out your septic out of your RV. Yeah, maybe it'll be the honey wagon. Maybe I'll use, I don't know what I'm going to do with the orange tractor. It is covered in scaly mold and flat tire, and I guess it was running when it was parked 6 years ago. So I'm not quite sure yet. He is going to be a very interesting person to hear from. Oh, are you talking about Jerome, the old owner? Yes, he's awesome. Thumbs up to you too, Patty. But yes, it's going to be an ongoing project. I thought about getting one of the sheds. I did that at my last house. I got it from Old Hickory Log Homes. Old Hickory Sheds. Sorry, I apologize. And I redid that into a really, really awesome office. And it was part of my old chicken coop. I had glass doors in there so you could like watch the chickens while I was sitting there working at my desk. I had a chandelier in there, but those sheds are actually really easy to convert into tiny houses. Pretty much you put your insulation, your wiring in, and I'm probably going to put quite a few of those in different locations around the property. Initially, I was going to plan on moving into one myself. But for now, at least for this winter and into next spring, maybe summer, I'm going to have to stay in the house and keep working on the rehab full time. It has to be like my number one priority. So that's why there's not a lot out going on the property other than trying to keep my little runway areas clear, and also around the area where the bees are at. And the beehives, I'm hoping to get word on that tomorrow. The gentleman that was the beekeeper, I still can't get a hold of this guy. And I talked to him on the phone regularly. I saw him. He was out there doing weed eating around the beehives. And then I hadn't heard from him for 2 or 3 weeks, and I called him up, and he said he'd just gotten out of the emergency room. This guy, he sounded, Jack Kruger is his name. Send your blessings out to him, please. And he sounded like he was on his deathbed. And he was talking like he was on his deathbed. He said, I had COVID and double pneumonia, and I don't think I'm going to make it. I just got home. And that has been almost 4 weeks ago now. And I have phoned and phoned and phoned. It goes to voicemail. I've texted him and got no response. So I'm hoping for the best, but I'm planning for the worst. And I did speak with an older lady at my church. She came out with some of her family and picked berries a couple of weekends ago. And they know some of the Amish here in the area. And she said she knows one that does do beekeeping. So I should find out about that tomorrow, and I'll get you an update on that, because I need to figure that out, because again, I don't know what I'm doing. It was my understanding that he was going to handle the bees, and then I would get the honey and, that whole thing. It's going to be really easy. Nothing's been easy so far. Nothing at all. It has been crazy since I moved onto this property. Hi from Toronto, Real Outdoor Living. What a great offer from you. He could use some people like you. Hold on. What is this? I can offer you a hand this winter. Real Outdoor Living. Yes. That would be really cool, man. And I will definitely talk to you about it more later because I know you, because I've watched you. You've watched me. I do get a lot of offers from people wanting to come out and camp. I just don't want to get into a situation where people come out to camp and I'm not prepared for them yet. I mean, I'm hardly prepared for myself at this point. It's kind of like a shot in the dark with everything I'm doing. And like right now, the refrigerator is down in the field, so I have to buy a refrigerator. I won't use the stove. I'm going to try to clean it up, but I don't think it's going to be usable. So I'm going to have to buy a stove. There's just so much that I'm going to have to do before it's going to be really ready to even have any guests. So let me go through some more here. Oh, that's what Patty was talking about. Listen on my drive to work. Oh, I know who that is. Good for finding another beekeeper, at least for now. Yes, but I have to learn this shit. I mean, I've got to learn how in the hell this is going to work. Is there a lot of dry timber on the property to use in the wood stove, or you'll have to bring some in? Oh, hell no. You have obviously not seen the first tour of the new property video. No, I have logs, aged wood, like triple my height, piles of it, all the way down one entire side of the property. So, no, I have all the wood I could ever need. And I do have a log splitter out there. And some people from church have offered to come over and help me because I can't do it. I have a horribly messed up back, bad shoulder, bad other leg. I'm just old and decrepit. But yeah, I've got plenty of wood to split. I could sell wood for years to everybody in town. I've got so much wood to split. Maybe they can teach you how to become a beekeeper. Oh yeah, no, that's one thing I am hands-on. Anytime the old owner's out there, I'm like right there in his face asking a million questions. It's going to be the same way with the bees. I want to be able to keep my own bees. When I had spoke to Jack, the beekeeper, the plan was we were going to triple the number of beehives for next season, so that the farm can produce honey to sell, as well as I want to be able to produce my own mead out on the property because I like to drink and everybody likes to drink, and I've never tasted mead, and you can make it from honey and water, and why not make mead then at the property? I think that'd be really cool, especially if you got campers in there and people coming up to buy vegetables and stuff. Have your own mead for sale, not just honey. So, no, I want to expand the bees, definitely. Trust me, bud. We've been there, done that. Let us know. Okay. You're for sure 100%. Let me know. My bus is fully self-contained and only... Hold on. Whoa. Everything's coming so fast. And only if you can use your help. Definitely. I'll be getting in touch with you, man. Is there a college around that has a department for that stuff? Maybe they could come show you. I don't know. That's a good question. I could look into that. Mead is delicious. I'm guessing it is. I'm a Miller Lite person. Thank you, Miller Lite, for sponsoring this video, by the way. No, I don't have any sponsors. Are there any grapes? Yes, I have a ton of grapes, too. There are grapes all over different random spots all over the place. And I'm still finding all kinds of stuff because if you've seen any of the walkthrough videos, it's like a jungle. I found more raspberry bushes today when I was out walking around the trailer house that I didn't even know existed out there. So those have been going to waste. I haven't even been picking them. Beverly from Georgia, you can get used appliances cheap. Probably get a stove and fridge for less than $500. Also get a walk-behind brush cutter like a weed eater on steroids. Okay. Yes, I can, but I'm not going to. I'm starting my life over from scratch. My house had all new appliances, beautiful pantry, really nice house, horrible relationship, over 13 years, and I broke it off. I literally left with the shirt on my back, right here, actually. Not this shirt, a different shirt. The clothes that I was wearing, a pair of slippers, didn't have socks on, and I took this cigar box that has some of my personal pictures in it and started over from scratch. So, no, I'm going to buy a stove. I want a really nice stove because I love to cook. And I want a nice refrigerator because I plan on staying here. This is going to be my forever home. If I was a little kitty or a little doggy, this is my forever home. So I'm going to do it my way. I know I could get cheaper appliances, and honestly, I probably could have cleaned the fridge. It was working. It was all spray painted. It was full of rotten meat. I could have cleaned it, could have got it working. No, it's not happening. And the stove, I'm going to probably utilize it here for about a month, but probably not because I have a barbecue grill with a burner on the side that's brand new and clean. And I also have an electric burner that I can plug in to do my pots on. No, I probably won't be using the green stove either. That'll probably go out to the barn and it'll get cleaned up. I'm not going to throw it out or anything like that. It'll probably get repurposed into like one of the tiny houses or cabin or something along those lines, or I'll donate it to somebody that needs it. So no, I don't throw things out. Don't think I'm throwing things out all the time. Miller for the win. Yes, definitely. Although I did have Miller, God, what was it? It's like an ultralight, a Miller 64 extra light or something like that. And that's really tasty. It's a really tasty beer. But no, I'm trying to cut back on the beer. That and you can't get any work done. So, yes, me and hubby on 2 different phones following you right now. Okay. You want the fridge. Okay. The fridge is all yours, bud. Totally. And what I did is I took the fridge down there to the field with all the rotten meat in it, and I just opened the lid and let the animals go to it. So I'm guessing in the next day or two, it's probably going to be completely empty and licked clean. Miller 64 is good. It is. I got Patty laughing at least. All right, Patty. Cheers. Now smoke the vape. No, that's not a pot vape. Yeah, it's just regular nicotine. Trying to quit smoking again. Yes, how long have we been on for? Holy crap, I've been talking for a whole half an hour. Unbelievable. There's 81 people watching this? That's unbelievable. So I wonder if I've hit the 3,000 subs yet. When I looked before this started, it was, I was 14 away. 14 people away from 3,000 subs. And it was 5 months ago when I sold the house and I was staying at my buddy Dave's house and I bought the VW bus and I moved into the bus and I started this channel because I was bored as shit. And I was out in McDonald's parking lot boondocking, and I'm like, I should shoot a video of this. And I ended up shooting a video of it and uploading it. And I had somebody pop on there and was like my first subscriber. And that was like 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago-ish. I have to actually look it up. And then I was camping out at McDonald's and then Planet Fitness. And I couldn't take it, you guys. I met this guy. I'll tell you this story. I met this guy. This is a true, honest-to-God story at Planet Fitness. And this big, huge, buff guy. And he was staying in his van. And this guy was on some serious dope. Okay. And he was sitting there. He kept coming over to my van at night. He'd want to hang out because he didn't have any money or anything, but he was a Planet Fitness Black member. So, he'd go in there to charge his phone, and then he'd go out and sleep in his van. And he would tell me, he said, no, I've always done it this way. What I do is I keep going in there and I keep working out until I meet a hot chick that likes me. And then I go move in with her for a while until she gets to know me real good and she can't stand me anymore. And then she'll kick me out, and then I go back in the van and just move to the next Planet Fitness and wait to meet a hot chick again. I'm like, so that's your life plan, huh? Yeah. He'd sit out there. He had his lawn chair. He'd come out there and sit next to the van telling me this. I'm like, oh, man, van life is not for me. The boondocking thing, that is not for me. So, yeah, that was one of my boondocking experiences. And then just the people. Man, it was like, they say you can meet some really good people. I'll tell you what. Go out at about midnight tonight and go to your local Walmart and go out to the cars that are at the very end parking spots and go knock on some doors and meet some wonderful people, okay? Now, I'm not saying that they're not great people out there that do the van life boondocking thing, but the boondocking part is for the younger crowd. And if you're going to have a successful YouTube video channel on the van life, I'm sorry, I'm 50, I'm flabby, I do not have washboard abs, I'm not going to get the views, and I'm not some hot 20 or 30-year-old chick in this beautiful chic band, so I'm not going to get the views. So, no, there's no money in boondocking for old people, I don't think. And it's not fun. It's just really not so much fun. About the only thing that's nice about it is, like, the McDonald's part. Like, if you're parked at McDonald's, if you're old, you get to go in and get your senior coffee and your $1 sandwich or whatever it is in the morning. But I never even asked for the senior coffee, I think, because I looked so rough from sleeping in the van. I'd go in the morning into McDonald's and, like, senior coffee, and I'm like, So, anyway, no, boondocking, no, I'm good on the boondocking. And the campground thing, I tried a couple of campgrounds and I'm like, this is freaking ridiculous. Dry camping was like $35 a day, and then I think it was $55 a day for utility hookups and sewage hookup, and I don't even have sewage in the VW. And then too, a lot of these campgrounds now, if you don't have a really nice new camper, they won't let you in. They'll ask you on the phone when you're making your reservation. They'll be like, what year is your Vita, or what year is your camper, or what year is your RV? And if it's over a certain number of years, they won't even let you come in. So, I don't know, but I hate getting rid of the VW. I really hate it. So, we'll see what happens. It'll all work out however it's supposed to work out. I'm just going to try to stay cool about it. Oh. Check out some of these comments. Like your sense of humor. Just like my husband. Oh God, I feel bad for you if your husband's like me. Look forward to the day you have campers. Oh, I do too. That'll be pretty cool. That's honestly the worst part about it is the isolation. I like it at times. That's why I like having the house part of it. You know, when I do have campers out there, when I'm fed up with people, I'm also going to be fed up with people like, all right, I'm ready to go home. These people are being dumb. But I don't know how it's going to go this winter. But, you know, luckily I've got a good following on YouTube. So worst case scenario, I guess I can jump on and do a live stream or post some videos. I've always got somebody to talk to online that way. There needs to be more people with your sense of humor in the world. Laughter gets you through so much. Well, it gets you through some shit. It also gets you into some shit. Let me tell you. Yeah, me unsupervised, not good. It's no bueno. It's no bueno, as my buddy Dave says. Well, what else we got here? So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. Any other questions you guys have got? Let's see what we got here, people. I don't even know how to read this thing. Up here it's saying, I guess it's 80 people watching, and then there's a 5 and a 2 with a thing up. I don't know if that's 52 likes or... Oh, insulation. Yeah, I've got some rolls of insulation already bought, and I'll be buying more every week. It needs lots of insulation in the house. Right now it feels awesome in there, though. Every day it's getting a little better now that I've got the dehumidifiers going. I think 90% of the problem was the humidity in there. That cob, the bench that's in there, and the cob on the walls and stuff, it was really holding the moisture, and it's been a nonstop stream going out the door. What are your plans for the livestock in the future? Oh, I would like to get a little bit of everything, honestly. There's an area out between two of the barns, and that's where I'm going to build the chicken coop in the spring, because it was total epic chicken coop failure this year. I knew it wasn't done right. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I was being hopeful that I'd have fresh eggs this fall. But, you know, you need to bury your chicken wire down into the ground so that nothing can dig up underneath it and get in, all that kind of stuff. And I tried to use the old one that was there. So I will definitely have chickens, of course. I would like to get a few goats. I definitely want a milking goat so that I can start doing homemade soaps. I have to buy 2 ducks because my best friend Dave wants a duck named Clackers. So I told him that I would buy 2 ducks. And mine's going to be named Hector, and his can be named Quackers. So I'm having 2 ducks minimum. Other animals, I would like. I don't know what all I'm going to get. I'm kind of crazy like that. Like, just kind of whatever comes across, I'll be like, yeah, I'll do that. That's cool. So that's kind of the livestock. Okay, we got pigs, sheep, and goats are good for the land clearing, and also one of those would be good for a start. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you know, if somebody shows up and they're like, hey, I got a pig for sale, or if I run across a pig for sale, I'll probably be like, scoot over, Louie. We're putting a pig in the back seat. Just no pigs in the house. No. No. See, there's another story. You want to hear a good story? You won't believe this, but it's true. The last house I was in, I had chickens, and I had a chicken coop, and the chicken coop was attached to my building, everything. We had 1 chicken that my ex used to love this chicken. So we saved this 1 chicken when we moved in town. This chicken moved with us in town. And I had to build a building in the basement for this chicken. And the chicken stayed in the basement. It was a full-time indoor chicken. And when I'd sit on my computer downstairs and work in the basement, the damn chicken would sit here. So, yes, chicken story. That frickin' chicken Genevieve. Pigs will eat all they come in contact with. Nothing overgrown will survive. Yeah, I know, and that's really what I need. Everyone be sure to like now before you forget. Oh, okay. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate that. We had 2 Juliana pigs, Miss Piggy and Bacon. Okay. I had a pig once. Yes. I had a pig when I was in Alabama. It was not an eating pig. It was one of them potbelly pigs. Yeah, I did that too. It's kind of one of those things, like the women in my life have known throughout the years, like if I say something, they have to like, I'm being serious. Like if I'm like, thinking I'm going to go get a pig today, and my ex, that was when she first met me, and she's like, oh, that's nice, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a yes to me. Like, cool, I can go get a pig. So, yeah, I went and bought a pig that day, and then I came home with a pig. Like, what in the hell are you doing? Like, I told you I was going to go get a pig. We had 2 Juliana pigs. Okay. Oh, Karen retracted her message. Okay. But yeah, no, I've had a pig. I think that would be my strangest pet, was the pig. Yeah. The pig had an indoor area too, a whole play area. Yeah. And fake grass, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, the pig had AstroTurf indoors. Spoiled ass pig. Had to get up in the morning and make the pig oatmeal. His name was Ferdinand. Even though Ferdinand was the rat in Charlotte's Web, I don't know. I always wanted a pig named Ferd. So I had a pig named Ferd. Ferd the turd. And I'd have to get up and frick it. And he'd start going at it, squealing in the morning, wanting his fresh made oatmeal every morning. Very spoiled pig. Is the rocket stove connected to the plumbing? Is that how they got hot water? No. Actually, there's on-demand hot water, electric hot water in there, which pretty much blew me away. When I saw it, I'm like, wow. I did not see that one coming with no heat other than fire heat. So no, I actually have on-demand hot water in the whole house. Oh, I know, fancy schmancy, huh? Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. But you kind of got to have on-demand hot water if you're going to be like soaking in like a horse trough, because it's a lot of water to fill that tub. So, what we got here? Vice versa for me and the hubby. Oh, so you guys, okay, in the real outdoors, yeah. See, that's me. Just, I don't do the whole, like, coming home with cats and dogs thing. That I don't do. Like, Louie is my dog. Until Louie is gone, there'll be no other dog, and then there'll be one dog again, and that's it. And cats I don't mind, but I've never been a cat person. I've never had any luck with them. Every time I get one, for some reason, it's retarded. I'm sorry, Lord, I love the retards, all that kind of good stuff, but no, I've never had any luck with them. The last cat I had, it was a double stacker dryer, washer dryer combo, and it was like backed into the corner in the wall, and I mean, there's no space anywhere. And this cat would go up there every day and fall behind it 2 or 3 times a day and get lodged back there. So I'd have to pull the washer and dryer out. Never had any luck with cats. How scared are you to use the toilet in the house if you actually use it? Not too bad now. It looks horrible, but I know that there's been enough bleach on it to kill anything that's possibly on it. And I've had to use it a few times, so I don't like it, but I use it. I have used it a few times. I prefer to just not use it though. So that's where I'm at with the toilet. And I've even been looking at that, like, maybe I could at least cut part of the tub out so that I can put a new toilet in, because it's frustrating as hell. So I can go over to Home Depot and like $165, brand new toilet, 2 bolts, done, handled, and I can't because the tub's in the way. And if I did, I could get a new toilet, but I would have to use the tank that's hanging on the wall and somehow plumb it into it. So I'm just going to have to suck it up for now. Well, you guys got any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to sign off for the night and let y'all get back to watching reality TV shows. I seriously need you to disassemble that tub, because the tub, on the tub thing, I would have had that thing out in a day and had the trough outside. Well, Suzanne, is it Suzanne? Yeah, it'd be Suzanne. I haven't got there yet, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get it out. It's just, as soon as I start tearing things apart, there's gonna be no turning back. And then if I got to take a crap, I'm back to crapping in a bucket outside. If the water goes down or I spring a leak, I'm in a whole nother set of emergency. And who knows what in the hell's going to happen once I start tearing into it. I mean, it's got plastic piping, it's got metal piping, it's got PEX hooked up to it. So there's a lot to it. Let me go back down here. This is my only reality TV show. Oh man, yeah, this is my reality. This has been fun. Let's do it again. We will. Curious when we will actually see you working on the house, or oh, hold on, screwed something up there. Or is it just blogging? I do enjoy seeing the results. You certainly have your work cut out for you. Always love a challenge. Thanks, Karen. Yes, Karen, I'm going to start doing some videos of me actually doing the work in the house. Though I don't understand why anybody wants to stare at my back while I'm sanding a wall or, any of that stuff. But sure, I can do that. Definitely set up a composting toilet. Well, I got here late. Oh, sorry. Turtle walking Roo. Now that's an interesting one. Is that an Australian person? Are you from down under? Just curious. And Maureen, thanks for the chat. Love the chat, bud. Keep them coming. You're killing it. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I would like to see you doing the work. Okay. So, shooting video of myself doing work. So, I need to set up a tripod and then walk away and then sand the wall. And then that's cool. All right. We'll do that. Greetings from the Catskills. Sorry to be late. Use a shower. That tub looks dangerous. The tub is freaking dangerous. Definitely. And when I get out of the tub, looks like I'm going to be talking for a little while. When I get out of the tub, there's like that much room to the ceiling. So then you kind of got to squeeze out of that and then walk down some little steps without wiping out. And the steps are like that big and then get down off the platform. So, no, just down south. Okay. Such an interesting project. I'm excited for you, Karen from Florida. Thank you, Karen. I'm trying. It's slow going. I got to do it a little bit at a time, guys. And like I said, there's one thing after another. So I'm outside, then I'm inside, then I'm driving back over to Clinton, Iowa, then I'm back over to Illinois, then I'm back over here. But things will start getting on a more regular basis with the videos. And if you guys are interested in doing a chats, like doing these live chats, like I said, this is my first one. I've never done this before. I didn't even know like what comes up where and how it all comes on the screen and everything. So I'm just learning as this goes. But if you are interested in me doing this more often, I mean, we could do this on Saturday nights, or, like I said, maybe when we get into winter, I could do it nightly. I don't know. I imagine in the evenings I'm going to start getting pretty bored because once I'm done working for the day, it's just going to be me and Louie chilling out in the house. What a beautiful opportunity, though. Thank you. Hello, we took the long way home. Oh, long way home. Yeah, that tub. I always thought I wanted to buy trash property to fix up, but after seeing what you have to deal with, I'm sort of apprehensive. I would be too. Definitely don't do it unless you got some basic skills and some basic understanding, or you've got good friends. Well, nowadays though, with YouTube tutorial videos, man, there isn't a whole lot you can't figure out how to do. I definitely wouldn't go jacking around with no 220 electrical though. But other than that, you'll learn. Anybody can learn how to do this kind of stuff. And it depends on, how bad you want it. Me, I want it, but I'm not going to go at it killing myself. I'm trying to take it easier in my older years, and I can survive totally fine out in the living room. So I'm going to take it one step at a time, real slow, and make it exactly the way I want it inside. And I'm just going to take my time on it. What about the organization of working... Hold on. What is it? What about organizing, gathering a camping event in exchange for helping complete a project? Yeah, that can be done. That could definitely be done. Right now, I'm apprehensive about having people come out. There's so much that still needs, there is so much crap in so many spots. And when I get to a point where it's manageable for me, the house especially, the house has got to be, at least livable. And then I've got a lot of volunteers from church that have offered to come out and help with the cleanup, but I need to get a dumpster, like a humongous dumpster, dropped off down there in the field where the junk piles are at. But the junk just keeps coming. Like, if you saw my video today, I went into that trailer house. You know, there's a whole nother mattress, there's another futon, there's another couch. And, you know, I don't want people traipsing through where you can see you can barely get in and out of the trailer house because the growth is so bad. And I don't want people out there getting hurt either. And you don't even know what in the hell you're getting yourself into when you're walking through it. There's poison ivy, there's poison oak everywhere. So I've got to get things a little more prepared before I have people come out. And that's the whole reason, like with the camping aspect of it. I've had a lot of viewers say, you know, hey, if I can come out and pitch a tent, or, you know, if I can bring my van out there, I'll come out and help you. And I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. I completely appreciate it. It's just, from my perspective, I need to make sure it's safe enough. It's at least livable conditions. You know, you got to be able to have proper access to water. Even in the barn where I've got the well at, there's a huge pit there that needs to be filled up with pea gravel. The projects are just endless, it seems like. And I imagine it's probably going to take me until mid-season next year to get it to that point. And then, yeah, things will start clipping along really good. And in all honesty, you know, after, you know, 13 plus year relationship and selling my house and walking away from everything to start doing this on my own, it's good for me to do it on my own a little bit right now, you know, and kind of be on my own, doing my own thing. I had one of the neighbors come over a couple of days ago, and they're like, I don't know how you're in here doing this with no music on. I'm like, sometimes I listen to music while I'm doing it. Sometimes I just sit in silence while I'm doing it and just kind of enjoy myself. It gives me opportunity to think and be me, do my thing. All right, see what else we got here. It's a good tip. Gathering up like-minded thinkers will help you get some more stuff done. Yes. Insurance issues might be an issue with having people come out and help. Yeah, true. It is. Totally understand. I know that feeling. I've finally given up on relationship. I'd rather be alone and do my thing peacefully. It didn't get that bad overnight, so it won't get fixed overnight either. Very true. There's a lot to be said for being alone. I love it. Can't say I love it. It's definitely different for me. First girlfriend was like 3 years in high school. Then I got married. Was alone for like 6 months. Got remarried. Was with her for over a decade, and then in a 13-year relationship. So this is probably one of the longest periods I've been just on my own. And it's very strange. It's really strange. It's not having somebody to answer to. It's more, I don't know how to explain it. It's a bizarre feeling to me, and I'm trying to get used to it. But it's weird not having, I don't know, not rules or stipulations. I wouldn't say that. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. It's weird for me, like even getting up here at the motel, and then like I'm pushing myself to like try to hurry up and get ready and get Louie out and get ready for the day and take out the garbage and get my little desk area cleaned up here and get over to the farm and get to work. And but I'm doing it for me. Like, I'm not doing it because for somebody else. I'm not doing it because I need to be on any kind of a specific time frame. But also it's really nice, like when my buddy Dave came out last week, you know, we blew off the farm for a couple of days. We went and saw 2 movies, 2 different days. We went and saw the new Deadpool movie. Then we came back to the hotel, and then we were like, you know what? Let's go see Alien. And we went back and saw another movie the next day. So that's kind of nice. And you know, I'm not saying anything bad about relationships, but if I'd have still been in the relationship, I guarantee that would have been like oh, we got to get this stuff done. We're burning money at the motel and da 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 da. But now I don't know. It's kind of a bizarre feeling, just being on your own, being able to do whatever the hell you want, within reason. So it's weird to have somebody around, right? The kids have some good stuff. Yeah. Me too. Lisa, my daughter, says yeah. Yeah, but I don't know about the whole being alone thing. Uh, so far, so good. I mean, when I get involved now and let somebody, oh hell no, I ain't nowhere near that point again. No way. I quit dating in 2010. How in the hell did we get into dating? But it's cool. I'm fine with talking about it. Quit dating in 2010. I'm getting old, so I guess I'll go out being on my own. I have plenty of grandkids to keep me entertained. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I have no desire at this point. Um, if it happens, it happens. But I'm certainly not on Plenty of Fish, and I'm not on any of those dating websites, whatever they all are now. Um, no way. It's definitely not worth it. Definitely not worth it. In today's day and age, you wouldn't know who in the hell you're even talking to anyway until you got to know them, really. Hubby just gave me a look. Oh, real outdoor living. Yeah, you're a lucky man. I said that when it was her birthday. I was like, holy crap, when I heard her age, man. Yeah. You're a very lucky man. You're a very lucky man for her to put up with you. I had a nurse ask me how my relationship was. I told her I treat me, myself, and I like a queen. Well, that's good. You should. POF is crap. Oh, Plenty of Fish. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Just so you guys know, if you use those little abbreviation things, I'm 50. You've got to spell shit out for me. You don't understand, Sonny. God, that is the same beer, and it is really warm. Okay. Let me trade that one out. One nice thing about being in a motel room, though, you get this little plastic bin that you get to put your ice in. So that's kind of nice. Now I got a nice cold one. Oh, I've been happily single since before POF. Oh, Plenty of Fish, yep. Yeah, I got the POF thing because I'd recently said POF. I was like, yeah, okay, I got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's my problem. Every time I get into a relationship, I stick with it. Like, till the bitter frickin' end. Like, miserable, miserable, miserable. Um, Not to talk crap, but like the last one, I went down to Belize. She wasn't happy in Belize on the tropical island. Like, sitting in the motel room watching TV. Like, okay. Yeah. So, me too. Been single since 2005. Well, that's maybe what we should do. Just have like the whole farm be like a dating farm website thing. Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure how to incorporate that into it. Warm beer is the worst. What island were you on? Keycaulker Island. Keycaulker, depends on where you're from. Cayecaulker in Belize. Very, very small island, but when I got there, there wasn't all kinds of tourists. This has been a long time back. Sorry to change subject, but I did want to mention that the fireplace around is gorgeous. It is, but you're not gonna like this. It's so not my style. Um, yeah, it is pretty. I get that, and for a lot of people, they'd be like, "Oh my God, it's beautiful." It's just not my style. Like, I don't know. I'd rather just have like a mantle above it more than anything else. And I'm gonna be dyeing the stonework and re-dyeing all the grout in between them. I don't know. I still might end up painting it and get it all elaborate and stuff and do it to match the walls, but I grew up in a house where everything was woodwork, wood, antiques, and we weren't allowed to touch shit when we were kids. Like, don't touch the furniture, don't sit on the furniture. I think that's why I have like the negative thing with anything wood colored, browns, like all that cherry colored furniture that's in there. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I would rather have my shit in a stack on the floor. You could sell the fireplace around. Maybe you can sell it for a new tub. No glass bottle fireplace. No glass bottle fireplace. No, the glass would just break. There's no way to do that. I might be able to go around the bottom of it or something. We'll see. Probably some way I can incorporate some bottles into it. Holy shit, now that one's cold. That one's really cold. Well, guys, I'm gonna sign off of here for tonight because I need to take Louie out to go potty. Been enjoying watching your channel. Love meeting you, buddy. Lou, what color? Huh? Love meeting you, buddy. No glass fireplace. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night, and I'll let you know next time I go live. If you want to leave a comment about it, we'll see how often I'm going to do this. I'm not sure. Maybe I can do an update more often, doing a live stream or something like this. And also, you know, I can take a walk around the farm and you guys can have more questions and I can show you things up close and what I'm actually working on out there. So, no, each to their own. It's probably not my style either, but lately I love the dark Acadia. Okay. Well, I'll save it off to the side for you. Have a good one, everybody. Y'all have a good evening. Don't stay up too late.